Damn, Chips is out the rent already? Damn, Chips is out the rent already?
Happy 4th to all you junkies out there. It's Kachiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. It's been a while. But let's go ahead and have a show, huh? The great Dadakuji.
What's that, everybody?
It's a long time, everybody. Plus.
How you doing, fellas?
He said you fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
Wow. Okay, I'm here.
And
Mr. Eric Joseph.
How you doing, man? Long time no see.
Doing all right. My audio. Yeah, my computer. Apparently Google was my phone, and I wasn't gonna do one. Don't be it. But hold on, let me get my earbuds.
All right, cool. Well, I don't know if it's happening to everybody else. But we got a pretty bad echo. So I'm gonna try and work that out. And you guys kind of how's your 4th, man?
It's weird because I don't hear the echo anymore. I just hear everybody talking.
I hear it.
No dead air. How was everybody's 4th? Dada, where are you?
I've been reading comic books all day. I'm so behind and whatnot. I'm catching up. So I did pick this up last night. Collector's Legacy Collection, the White Ranger.
Nice.
Such a nerd.
Come on now, man. And I couldn't find nowhere else, and I saw 3 of them. I said, let me go ahead and grab one of these bad boys. Because I ain't gonna see it. Probably like $50 on the internet. Target's having to have it.
Wow, what?
Are you going to buy the Bell new class?
Wait. Why would you buy that though?
Why would not buy it?
He loves that Saved by the Bell, man.
Dude, I grew up on Saved by the Bell. That's my shit.
Alright, well, I'm still working it out. Darian, you are where right now?
Well, happy 4th to everybody out there. For me, it's no longer the 4th. It's July 5th because I'm on the other side of the planet. I'm in the Philippines, and it's 7 in the morning for me. And I'm having a good time out here. I, like seeing the world, but also like being at home. There's that echo. That was that one. I was like being at home. That's how it was. But anyway, I'm not doing too much of spending as the super nerd, but I managed to pick this game up, Shadows of the Dam, for the PlayStation 3, which I hear is pretty cool, for $6 complete, which I kind of like. If I was the collector, Daidakuji, like I was, I could have gotten a whole lot of video games for really cheap, and some expensive Transformers and some other Mr. GQ out here. He probably would go nuts because I saw a whole store that had those figures that he likes so much. The what do they call those things? The sideshow collectibles. It's a store that was just sideshow collectibles, and then it was a store that was Transformers and Gundam models and all this other stuff. And I was just
hey, can you bring me back to Gundam models?
If I go to a mall, another one, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, the thing is, the malls they cost about the same price as they are back home. It's just in pesos instead of dollars. So you'll look at a box or something and it says 16,000 pesos. You're like, whoa, but 16,000 pesos is what? That's like 200 some odd dollars.
No, 16,000 pesos divided by 5. What's 16 divided by 5?
3
is like 300 and some change. So it depends on what you're looking
at. Stop. So Gundam models are like $300.
Yeah,
well, no, not a Gundam. I'm just throwing that number out there because when I was looking at certain things, I was being shocked because I was just like, okay, do I want this? Do I want this? I want to eat because like food out here is cheap. That's like the best thing is just to eat. Me like the food. Oh, the food, man. My lovely wife, she loves squid. Back in the States, if you're going to get anything with squid, it's probably going to cost you like $20-25. Managed to get like a whole meal out here for $6 on the squid that's like that big on it with rice and some other stuff. So
I can get fat here so quick.
Yeah. Puso, they call it. No, pusit. Excuse me.
Yeah, it sounds like pussy.
Pusit.
Oh, all right, there you go.
Okay.
But the food out here is great, but I'm having a hard time finding, like, okay, I have not seen any Famicom. I've seen a dude out here selling a bootleg Famicom, maybe not bootleg, maybe third party, whatever, like a Retron, but it's for Famicoms. But not one Famicom game. Not one bootleg Famicom game, Super Famicom, Super Nintendo. I haven't seen any shops selling all that stuff. It's like, and you ask around, they're just like, no.
I'm just like, Google the Super Potato.
I'm not sure where I can find that.
Look up Super Potato.
All right, well, moving right along. Eric, it's been a while since you've been on the show. How have you been?
I've been doing well. Back to work today, as you know, I write a lot. Haven't even done my own show since like April. So Josh and I are
you're just
gonna do one that's
so big time.
We're gonna do.
You just don't have time.
We're gonna do
a regular show.
We're gonna do one at some point this summer, but Josh has some personal business to attend to, and I'm going to probably be moving within the next few weeks. So
all right,
maybe sometime after that we'll get it together. But yeah, then I can once I'm all settled into a new place, then I can get to buying more costumes and stuff because now I've got cosplay fever. So.
That could be good. That could be bad. Stay tuned, everybody, for that. So, in any case,
I'll mute my mic so people can see something here. There, that's me. That's me as Green Arrow season 5.
Yeah, not bad. Hey, so real quick, it's been a number of weeks since we've been on. I went to Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago and happened to see Transformers the last night. Yeah. I remember how I was kind of like, I wrote this article on the Culture Junkies website saying, like, here's why I'm going to give Transformers the last night this money. And I laid out like 3 reasons why. I regret every single one of them. I am not going to lie. I regret every single one. I got fooled, man. I got fooled on that IMAX trailer. And
it was really that bad? I mean, dude, like,
man,
the action. Okay, hold on.
It was,
All right.
It was so bad. Go ahead.
One thing that I've noticed is two types of movies out there. Actually, there's way more types of movies, but I'm gonna just say there's two types right now. You got the movies that are action movies, and you got movies that are not action movies. Now, most action movies, from my perspective, don't really have strong plots. Period. They're just not strong. Don't have strong acting because you're not watching it for that stuff. You're watching it for the explosions. You're watching it for the car chases. You're watching it for the gunfights.
Right.
So you telling me that the action sucked? I'm not talking about the people's acting. I'm not talking about the plot. I'm just talking about the action.
Okay,
so
man,
the action terrible.
The action wasn't terrible. Ryan is over there on YouTube asking, is it Jim bad? I didn't see Jim, so I can't see that as any kind of perspective. But the action wasn't. It's a Michael Bay film. I mean, so you know what you're gonna get. It didn't deviate. There was nothing super special about it. Does that make sense?
I mean, me personally, I didn't go see Transformers, and I don't know if I'm going to go see Transformers. I wasn't excited about it. I mean, I did like the other ones because of the action. The plots were just dumb, and of course, nostalgia drives me to love the Transformers animated one, but that's not really a good movie either, but I still love it. But regardless of saying that, I'll watch it probably when it comes out on Blu-ray, just because usually when things pass in a movie theater for me, like a few weeks, I have a hard time going to go see it because there's other stuff I want to do. But for just action, I mean, where can you go wrong?
No. I got on this. Action is cool. I like action. I'm not a real big action person. I'm more about the dialogue and development of the character. Action movies just, or action in the movie is just an added piece of the movie. Now, there's certain movies that are like dialogue driven and put action to drive the movie, which are cool. Transformers is just all action, and then it's just gonna suck because everybody's how can I say this? Pulled in because of the action. And they got these action junkies. It's like for the action, they don't give a fuck about whatever else in the movie. And I think that's the problem. Like everybody's so action, big explosion, boom. That doesn't really cut it. The movie can still suck, which it did suck.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know. I guess I would have to see it just to comment on the action, because I know that the plot and all that other stuff sucks. Because like when I go back and look at movies that you love out of the 80s, like most Arnold Schwarzenegger 80 movies films are great action flicks, but the dialogue is terrible. The plot is so paper thin, but we love them anyway. You know, we love Arnold's one-liners. We love, the stupid friggin' goons that he's going after. No, I thought you were gonna kill me last. I lied. We love that stuff, but it's still, if that movie came out today with your criteria, and I'm talking about it did come out in the 80s, it came out today, you'd hate that movie. And I'm talking about Commando. Talking about almost all the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. If they did not come out in the 80s and came out today with the way you think about movies, you'd hate all of them. The reason why you love them is because it's nostalgia. Exactly. You'd hate all of them. And that's usually why when people start, hating on the movies, for me specifically, for movies that are made similar to those movies back then, but they hate them, and I'm just like, but you like this, you like that, you like that. I don't understand why you hate it. Because I get now it's a nostalgia thing. Like, you love watching it because you love the one-liners, you love action. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he did his thing, and it was great. I mean, don't get me wrong, but if those movies came out today, I guarantee you people would hate them. Because like the critics back then hated them. Huh?
But those same movies are out now, though. Well, there's no big difference.
I mean, they're making movies like that. Now, when it comes to action movies, depending on, they do a lot more CG than they should. Fan of Transformers has to be CG, because I don't see no guy walking around in some tin strapped to their body pretending to be Transformers. But it's just like Michael Bay. You know what you're going to get whenever every Michael Bay movie. There's helicopters going to be in it. There's going to be explosions. There's going to be the stupid scenes where people getting out of cars, because it's just formulaic. But like when Michael Bay did it with The Rock, everybody liked it. The Rock was, we say it's a good movie. But like, if you use that same formula for now, people are like, I hate it.
But here's the thing. Planet of the Apes, I guess. I want to be a prime example, but I don't think nobody really cared for the dialect driven and then want to see apes go against humans. That was just the whole premise of it. And now you can say the same thing for Transformers. Like, we just want to see Autobots go against the Decepticons, so the dialogue really don't give a shit and throw out the window. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, if you're a diehard person who wants to hear Megatron talk and Optimus Prime do his speech or whatnot, then you're just gonna be for the dialogue part, of course, saving the world and all that stuff. But like you said, Michael Bay just big explosions and fireworks. All right. and it's like
Michael Bay heard you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about Transformers.
Yeah. Like I said, I get it. For me, I try to just understand that when I compare one to another one, that's basically so.
Okay.
But yeah, did you? I know you guys.
Hello.
If I wasn't on the 6th, Spider-Man comes out here a day early, and I won't be early. I don't think I'm gonna be near a theater because I'm leaving the city, going to a beach spot area, which they have a city out there, so they probably can still see it. But I'm waiting till I get back home to see it, just because I didn't come to the Philippines to go to the movies.
Sure.
Came to the Philippines
to
eat,
wherever,
relax.
Don't let that stop
see
you.
family, and get stuck in traffic. But I know you guys are excited to go see Spider-Man. Talk about that. I want you to tell me about it. Because you got all that Spider-Man stuff behind there.
Oh yeah, you see Spider-Man. Bro, I got the figures. The rest of them are downstairs. But me personally, Spider-Man, I'm a Spider-Man fan. I can't wait to see it. Even when I saw him in Civil War, I ain't gonna lie, I teared up. I teared for the simple fact that they got it right. And I was happy to see them with the Marvel Universe. And even when the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, you know, it was nostalgia. But at the same time, I was like, ugh, Tobey Maguire. I don't know. And, you know, I didn't feel how I felt now when I seen him in Civil War. And now he got his own movie now, and they could do sequels after that. I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a movie I have to see 10 times.
I just want to know what the heck is going on with the whole Venom thing, because they say, oh, Venom's in the MCU, Venom's not in the MCU. It's like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Venom is...
Yeah, you know what? That's what we're talking about. Let's get into that real fast. And, you know, Eric, you can chime in too, because I know you talk about... You've probably gone back and forth with some of your dealings with... We got this covered. But there's a lot of confusion right now about, you know, who actually is calling the shots with Spider-Man. Is it Sony? Is it Marvel? Now, officially, Sony still owns the rights. Sony gets all the money from the box office. Marvel has creative control of Homecoming. Marvel has also the merchandise and toy sales. So they do get something out of this, and some might argue that Sony's getting the lion's share because they're getting the money, which honestly benefits them, which is great. But Sony, I mean, would Sony be stupid? Okay, would Sony be stupid if they all of a sudden just yanked Spider-Man back after he gets established in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or just because they like started to play this ball with Marvel, are they going to have to stick with Marvel and like constantly re-up? Because I think that it would behoove them to keep making this deal and keep it going with Marvel. What do you guys say?
Well, I think I just read something that Sony's deal with Disney or whatever at least has like a 5-picture plan, whatever that may be, because we heard that Homecoming's essentially going to be a trilogy. So, and I heard somewhere recently that Disney actually doesn't get anything from Homecoming's take, but they do get. It is still a sweet deal because they still get Spider-Man for Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Spider-Man up there with Batman and Superman is one of the most recognized superheroes the world over. I mean, he's been a pop culture icon pretty much since his inception in the 60s. Because, I mean, right out of the gate, he pretty much had an animated series. So he's always been a pop culture sensation. So I think Disney is pretty much content with, like, okay, we can give you Iron Man for a movie. You give us Spider-Man for Infinity War and Avengers 4. And it's going to go from there. But, I mean, Sony still has, you know, the right to make their movies like Venom and Silver and Black, which is, okay, yes, I will pay to see a Black Cat movie for obvious reasons. But Silver and Black was a bad title for the movie, you have to admit. But still, not putting it in the same universe as Spider-Man is kind of weird, and pretty much every fan on Earth has called them out for it. But at the same time, a solo Venom movie is, you know, it's too cool to pass up. I'll be there opening.
Man,
weekend.
Stop. A solo Venom movie. Okay, here's my problem with a solo Venom movie, right? Venom's entire origin is so closely tied to Spider-Man that if he is not part of that movie in any shape or form, it's going to fall flat, because where is he going to establish his psychotic obsession with Spider-Man if he's not there? Like, he's just what, he's just going to be some alien symbiote? Where does this whole spider motif come from? I mean, there's going to be so much missing from a Venom standalone movie if Spider-Man isn't there, that I just think it's going to fail from the jump. Now, starring Tom Hardy, that's cool. That's real cool. I love that. That's great.
I don't think Sony thought as far ahead as you did, because what they're doing is,
obviously,
if you remember before they made the deal with Disney, and, you know, the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy was still going on. They were building to a Sinister Six movie, you know, an Aunt May spinoff, and all their ideas were just half-baked because, you know, if you want to do a Sinister Six movie, have them fight Spider-Man, or if Spider-Man's not in it, like I always said, do it Ocean's 11 with superpowers. But no, it was going to be a redemption story. Sony was just trying to do their own half-baked version of the Avengers, and they're just going to continue trying to, you know, get more paydays, as many as they can, around the Homecoming trilogy. And I guess we're going to have to see. I really think Venom's going to happen. We'll have to see about Silver and Black, but the fact that they want, like,
so dumb.
Mysterio, they want, like, Mysterio and Kraven to get their own solo movies, and that's just stupid. I don't know. Those movies, I'll believe them when I see them.
Right.
You know.
Right. Like, I mean, so much of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is tied to him. Black Cat, tied to him. Venom, tied to him. Mysterio, tied to him. Kraven the Hunter, tied to him. You can't do these movies without him. So that's when me and Miao Yin were going back and forth and having this argument, you know, saying that, oh, well, she was like saying, well, Sony's going to yank him back and going to use him. I said, I said, so you're telling me that Sony's going to do their own movies of Spider-Man and confuse all the other stuff when he's with the Avengers too? It just wouldn't fly, because contractually, Tom Holland is with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's not with Sony. So you can't contract the actor to play Spider-Man for two different roles. You'd have to recast him, or you'd have to pay him more money, which makes me think that once Homecoming comes out, and it's what is it right now, 94% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Not that Rotten Tomatoes is the end all be all of any kind of authority or anything like that. It's just kind of a measuring stick, a metric that people go by nowadays. But it being certified fresh, and when it comes out and it kind of, like, you know, does super humongous great numbers, right? I think Marvel's going to have the leverage to go back to the table and say, hey, look, let's form a more formal partnership. You want to do Venom, you want to do Black Cat, you want to use Spider-Man because you're going to need them in order to establish those and get, you know, great footing. Let us come on board. Let us have a little bit of creative control because obviously we know what we're doing. These are our properties. Let's let you get it off on the right foot. The Avengers don't have to be in it. They don't have to be a part of it, but Spider-Man can still be a part of it. It's almost like a renegotiating of a deal to where, you know, Kevin Feige could come back on board and say, hey, let's do this thing right. You know, if you want to do Venom, you got to have Spider-Man. If you want to do Black Cat, you got to have Spider-Man. You want to do Silver Sable, you don't necessarily have to have Spider-Man, but Silver Sable in the Wild Pack, does that really strike you as a great movie? Sorry. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, but Silver Sable in the Wild Pack, that doesn't move me.
Come on,
that doesn't move me, man. I'm sorry.
Don't get me wrong. She was a cool character.
Right, she was a cool character, but that doesn't move me, man. Right. I really want to see Mysterio in the theaters. Like, they've never done him, and I think, you know, with the effects the way it is, I think it could be incredible.
And he's a movie effect. Come on, that would be so.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. That'll be really great. You're right. Eric, what did you think about everything that we just talked about as far as like Sony and the deal that they make?
I don't know. I could see them calling an audible after Homecoming's numbers come in. I do kind of have a feeling Homecoming's going to do better than the last Spider-Man movies because they've all been on a decline, at least domestically, when it comes to box office return. But, you know, you just have the appeal. You know, Iron Man's there. That's an easy ticket seller. And there's just been so much social media buzz around this. But I don't know. I kind of think that Venom is still going to be its own thing. I don't know. It could end up being a good movie, you know, with Ruben Fleischer at the helm, but I don't know. But as for beyond that, I can just see Sony dropping the ball because it seems like it's just studio execs trying to make a buck, and there's no real clear vision.
I mean, has anything Sony put out been reasonably good? I don't think so.
Now, see, and that brings up something else too. Like we were saying before, I think, and this was another talking point that I had with Miao Yin when we were going back and forth. I said the reason why Sony made this deal is because they were hemorrhaging money. And I think I talked about this with Sev too. They were hemorrhaging money. They were making, you know, most of the movies that they were coming out were tanking. They weren't doing very good, you know. And so they made this deal with Marvel to say, hey, we need to get something out of this property that we got. Obviously, we don't know what we're doing, you know. So, in my opinion, I still feel like Sony, you know, and you know, Marcus Superior Prior is over there saying, you know, they could do Venom Lethal Protector. Okay, let's break this down for you. Venom Lethal Protector starred Eddie Brock, who struck out on his own, went to San Francisco. But the symbiote got its powers and it patterned itself after being bonded with Spider-Man. So everything that Venom did was modeled after Spider-Man. If you remove Spider-Man from that equation, where does he get it from? You can't.
I don't know.
You can't divorce him from Spider-Man. You can't. They've tried now. You could do. They've done the Flash Thompson, the Agent Venom. They did the Cosmic Knight. Okay, maybe they'll do that. But the most popular version of Venom in the pop culture place is the crazed, you know, obsessive villain of Spider-Man that he's actually going back to being now in the comic books. He's gone back to being.
It would be interesting to go back and see. This is a bit of film trivia, but Venom almost happened, I believe, at New Line back in the late 90s. I mean, you remember, like, James Cameron almost made a Spider-Man movie in the 90s, but I can't remember who had the rights to Spider-Man in the 90s. I know there was some trade, and it's how basically it had something to do with Spider-Man and some James Bond. I think the film rights to Thunderball, and that's how Columbia Pictures made the Spider-Man movie that we wanted to be a right after Blade or something like that. And I think David Goyer was going to write it, but those plans were canned, you know, once this other deal was made. So yeah,
keep David Goyer away from these properties, please. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And so Venom almost happened without Spider-Man at one point. So I don't know if someone can unearth if there's a screenplay somewhere around for that. Maybe we can get some kind of idea how someone tried to pull off Venom without Spider-Man. But I don't know. I just wanted to, you know, kind of bring up a parallel there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. I think they're just going to hit the ground running and maybe just here's Venom. He already has a symbiote. He's doing stuff.
Running all right.
It just, I don't know. It just, to me, it's not gonna work if Spider-Man isn't a part of it. It just doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, and granted, a lot of these are like in the really, really early stages. There's nothing that's really, you know, come out, you know, that's concrete. They're just putting it out there, almost like putting out the feelers. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get back to Spider-Man Homecoming. Obviously, the reviews, the early reviews have been fantastic. They said this movie is going to be great. We've heard it's the greatest Spider-Man movie ever. I myself, I didn't really hate Amazing Spider-Man 2. The reason I didn't like it so much was twofold, because even though I loved Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, I thought he was great. I felt like him being transformed into the Green Goblin was way too fast. I also didn't like Jamie Foxx's version of Electro, even though I thought he was a compelling villain to Spider-Man, and they patterned him after the ultimate version of Electro, Ultimate Electro, basically. But Andrew Garfield never bothered me as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I thought he was really good. Rhino was terrible, but that's a whole nother story.
He wasn't that bad though. I mean,
Rhino was terrible, man. Rhino was terrible. Rhino was terrible.
Rhino was terrible. I don't think he was terrible.
No, he was terrible.
Just a side character.
He was terrible. That was
Paul Giamatti is a great actor.
He is a great actor. That was beneath his station. He shouldn't have taken that role. He shouldn't have taken the role. Anyway, they're saying that this was without a doubt the best Spider-Man movie we've ever seen. I've heard some people say it's the funniest Spider-Man movie we've ever seen. What do you think is what are you looking forward to so much with Homecoming, both of you? Let's start with you first, Super Nerd.
I'm looking forward to just seeing the Spider-Man we've been wanting to see in the comic books, the high school, tropes, and him, love interest and finding himself and, trying to be a hero. That whole aspect of it, and then I want to see what's going to happen with Vulture. I mean, granted, Vulture isn't one of the greatest villains he ever dealt with in his entire career, which I don't give a shit about Vulture, but way Michael Keaton pulled him off, I'm thinking like, oh, okay, now I really want to fuck with Vulture, and I'm thinking like, is he really going? I want to see like some hardcore fight action, web swinging, going at it in the air fight scenes. I mean, we've seen it with Green Goblin, but I want to see what Marvel's going to do with their version of.
You bring up a very good point. One of the things about his fights with the Vulture, they were never near land. They were always mid-air. Even in the comic panels, it was like in the middle of the air. He's hanging everywhere trying to get to this guy. So. We already saw that, obviously they're going to be fighting on a plane or something like that. That's about as high stakes and away from any buildings that he could possibly attach to and swing from. So, it's going to be pretty precarious. I'm looking forward to that scene. I'm looking for.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I read something that they said that they won't be exploring his Spidey senses much in this film.
Now. Okay, yeah, they're not going to explore it. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have it. I hate the era that we live in now, where it's just so full. Everybody's so desperate for attention that they that they got to do something to do some clickbait and get some attention. Welcome back, Dido. We got to do something to get some attention somehow, some way. So they put out these stupid, clickbait headlines that mislead people into thinking, and it's partially the general populace's fault for not reading the article either. But if you just read the headline, you would think that he didn't have spider sense at all. That's not what the director said. They're saying that he has spider sense. They're just not focusing on it as far as like they're not going to use it too much. And it's just stupid, man. It's just really dumb. It's really dumb. Really dumb.
I mean, I didn't really, because sometimes spider sense, I'd be like, you didn't feel that shit 5 minutes ago? So I mean, even like in the movies or even the comic books, I'm like, damn, Spidey, I know your spider sense can feel that shit tingling. Now you about to get your ass kicked. Sometimes I'm like, come on, man, you can use that shit a little bit better. I know he doesn't know where the danger's coming from. He just feels it. But at the same time, it's like,
look,
I want him to.
Who's here?
It's
the Dark Shadow.
The big Kahuna.
The Dark Shadow, the big Kahuna. What's up, man?
Oh damn, Shadow.
The Shadow. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my God, my eyes! I can't take it. So much horror. Oh, I can't take it. Anyway, how you been, dude?
I'm good, man. Why is Super Nerd Plus naked?
Hey man, it's hot, bro.
I'm trying to get more viewers.
Yeah, there it is. The sex appeal. Trying to get more viewers. Show a little skin.
Sexy about me.
Some people would beg to differ.
I'm just hot as hell.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. All right. But in any case, that whole spider sense thing is going too far. Kahuna, now that you're here, let me get your take on what are you looking forward to with Spider-Man: Homecoming this weekend.
Oh man, I'm nothing really in particular. I'm just looking forward to the movie. Period. I mean, it looks like it's going to be good. I love the diversity of the cast. Even though when they show Flash Thompson, I'm like, this dude doesn't look like a bully. Like,
he's a new age bully.
Who's going to be scared of this guy?
New age bully.
What? I mean, come on, man. This
new age bully
is
a cyber bully.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he looks like, he looks like a wet noodle. There's nothing imposing about this Flash Thompson. He's not even a sports star.
That dude said he gained 60 pounds for the role.
Whatever, dog. Come on, man. He don't look imposing at all. Gained 60 pounds. Where? Anyway, he doesn't look imposing at all. Yeah, maybe it's all in his feet, right?
Well, like you guys were talking about with the Spidey sense, like I said in the comments, I said they showed the Spidey sense in Civil War.
Right.
When Bucky threw that thing in him, he had his back turned and his eyes got big. He was like, "Oh God!" and he turned around and he ducked.
Absolutely, right.
So yeah, he has the Spidey senses.
Right. Yeah, he does. It's dumb.
Itself, I'm just looking forward to everything. I think Michael Keaton gonna knock it out the park with Vulture.
Hey, that just brought to my. I mean to cut you off, Kahuna, but that just brought it back to Michael Keaton playing Batman when people didn't say he's gonna be a good Batman.
Oh man, was my favorite Batman.
Right, so that's thinking to me now, like, damn, he about to blow this Vulture character out the park. Because, like I said, if a director or an actor can mold a character how they see it and make him better than what the comic was, I'm all for it. Like, even Donald Pierce and Logan. Who the fuck cares about Donald Pierce? But the actor that played Donald Pierce made me like him. Like, oh shit, I want to see this Donald Pierce in the comic books. Not the fuck boy that wore a gown all the time.
I mean, just the way Keaton delivered that line when he was like, "I'll kill everybody that you love."
Bruh.
Just the way he delivered that, I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, that was some cold shit. That was cold.
They also made him look pretty badass.
They did. Eric's right. They did make him look pretty badass with his little mechanized suit that he's got. He does look pretty cool. Yeah, the costume looks pretty dope.
It makes sense though because he has the jacket on. He's gonna be in the air. He's gonna be cold, so it got the little feathers around the neck. A thick jacket. Got the helmet on. It makes sense. I did.
It's all made from repurposed Chitauri armor, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything. Everything that he gathered was because he was like the cleanup crew during
damage control.
And he's part of damage control.
Yeah.
So he started, you know, taking all, like in the synopsis it says that he's like he's black marketing all this technology that he's finding.
Yeah, because that was a character I was worried about. Would he look cool in live action? That they found a way to pull it off, because, you know, there are some characters that it's really hard to translate them well from comics to film. I mean, animation's a different thing entirely, but you know, we're not at the point where people tried to make literal translations, because I think really the only good live action mixed Pitlick we ever got was on Supergirl, with, you know, using his powers and stuff. But I mean, go back and watch him on Superboy from the 80s.
Bad.
When they had a guy dressed in the actual costume. In the
it was not very good.
It just doesn't look right.
It was not good. No, it was not. It was not good at all. No. Yeah, and you're right, Eric. Some people don't translate to the screen, but I think they did a really good job of Vulture. Let's talk about the Iron Man controversy.
Vulture was going to be the villain in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. That never happened.
Maybe we should count our blessings on that. So let's talk about the Iron Man controversy or not-troversy. If some people say that, you know, Iron Man figure is a little bit too much in this. Now, something that I read. Now, did Sony was in charge of cutting the trailers? I heard, and that's kind of why Iron Man figured prominently. I mean, Eric, is that true? Is that right? Is that
John Watts recently? I don't know who cut them, but I know John Watts, the director, wasn't exactly happy about how much the trailers have given away, because, like I said, I really think they're trying to, you know, get more people into theaters, but who knows? Tony Stark could be in this movie.
Like, they could have showed the limo scene.
Because don't forget Anthony Hopkins, you know, in Silence of the Lambs, wasn't he on screen for only like 15 minutes or something like that? But, you know, he
won an Oscar.
Yeah, and you just think of that as one of his defining roles too. But I don't know. I think Stark's involvement could be very minimal, and, you know, they could have put even 3-second snippets from pretty much every scene Tony Stark is in these trailers, and maybe that's why the filmmakers aren't that happy, because I think it was either trailer 1 or 2 for Homecoming. It was like that second trailer for Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
You could connect all the dots, and you knew the entire plot of Homecoming.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I think,
you're right.
I think Happy's probably going to be in it more than Stark is going to be in it.
Well, people said that, when Fallen Marvel's saying that, people said that Tony Stark was in it for a total of maybe about 15 minutes, and this is coming from people that have seen the movie already. And that bodes well, but the fact that they cut these trailers and made, and even the posters, even the way the posters are are basically assembled.
Oh, that awesome poster!
He features so prominently. It makes it seem like it's not a Spider-Man movie. Happy 4 to you, also Ro B. But it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. What happened there, and did they make a mistake by pushing Iron Man too much in this movie, and think that might maybe turn some people off? What do you guys think?
I think Sony is nervous because they know they just doing the same thing they've been doing for all the other movies. They're trying to, like you said, bring people into theaters, and they're trying to do too much, and because they know that if they lose, they're gonna, like, you know, be shitted on. So I think, like, the director has the right to be mad. Like, why are you fucking up my shit? The people gonna see because of Spider-Man and Marvel. That's 1 and 2 things. But Sony, you just doing too much. Like, just play the back seat, stay in your lane real quick. You know, let us do what we do, and we're gonna get the money. And we giving you the box office tickets, so shut the fuck up.
Right. Let us do our thing. Let us make you money. You know, let us make you money.
You fucking up putting extra shit in the trailer that I don't need to know the whole movie, because we're tired of that shit anyway. So just shut the fuck up, do little snippet cuts or whatever. Don't be dickheads. Oh, we're nervous, we need to do this. Like, no, just sit back, let Marvel, Disney take care of the character in the movie, which they've been doing for the past, how many years now? Come on now. They know what to do with their characters, so stop it, Sony.
Right.
Hashtag stay in your lane.
And that rant was brought to you by Super Nerd Plus Productions.
Hey.
Basically, Iron Man is to Marvel what Batman is to WB these days.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can see that. You know,
yeah, that's Marvel's Batman.
Yeah. You can see, as much as Megatron would probably hate to hear that. That's the literal truth as far as from merchandising and prominence says. You know, Iron Man is pretty much forefront. And you know, quite a jump from a guy that went from being a borderline C-list character back in the 80s to being the number one, maybe. That's yeah, I mean, he's jumped, he's leapfrogged the Hulk, he's leapfrogged. He hasn't leapfrogged. Well, he's leapfrogged some X-Men too in some respects to becoming Marvel's most prominent character besides Spider-Man.
I actually wrote an article today. I was sourcing an interview John Watts did with Den of Geek. I think I linked it over in the Culture Junkies group from We Got This Covered. But it was basically, you know, they were saying that they always intended for Iron Man to be in it because they see him as, I'm not quoting verbatim here, but he's the face of the MCU.
And basically. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is that guy. So yeah, they're not wrong at all. That's an accurate assessment. I agree.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
Like, there were talks of originally having Nick Fury as the mentor figure, which would make sense, and it would kind of, you know, be a callback to, you know, the recent Ultimate Spider-Man cartoons. But again, Iron Man's he's the golden boy right now. So, yeah. But they've said in Homecoming sequels, other Marvel characters will guest star. So I guess we'll wait to see who's going to be in Homecoming 2 and 3. It could be, I'm not going to say Steve Rogers Cap, but they've said even though Homecoming 2, whatever it's going to be called, comes out like 2 months after Avengers 4, it's going to pick up like minutes later and set the tone for the next wave of Marvel movies. So who knows? That big co-star for Homecoming 2 could be Bucky.
Hey, you know somebody. What? You saying that, right? Okay. You just said that, you know, Spider-Man Homecoming is going to lead the next wave of Marvel cinematic films. Now, doesn't that tell you that Sony is going to have to be in for the long haul if Spider-Man is supposed to feature so prominently in, like, say, phase 5, 6 moving forward? You know, come on, man. It just makes sense. Yeah. It just makes sense to me. Makes sense.
Sony needs to just go all in. You know?
Yeah, I agree, Dido. They do need to go all in.
That's why I missed the part about you guys talking about Venom in the MCU and not in the MCU, because I'm here in the Philippines, for those who don't know, and I had to let my in-laws out and lock the door because I'm waiting for something else. But regardless of that, but like going back and forth, it's just go all in. So you own these characters, we can make money off of it. Here, Marvel, just make us some money.
Yeah, I mean, what's the problem? What's the problem with them licensing them back to Marvel and say, hey, we're going to be a silent partner. You just put our name on these movies. Go do what you do. Make us that bread.
Or in street terminology, they can be the hookers and they can be the pimps.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean that was my whole point with arguing with Miao Yin, is like, she's saying, oh well, Sony's going to yank it back. They'd be better off letting Marvel do everything, finance everything, and they just rake in all the money.
I don't know. I think Sony's been yanking it for a long time.
Okay, thank you for that. So Tom Holland is obviously going to do a really good job. What do we think is going to happen as far as how do you think this movie is going to perform in the box office? Because I remember saying before Wonder Woman came out, I think GQ said it was going to maybe make about $500 million. I said, dude, this movie's gonna make 700 probably pretty easily, and I think I'm pretty much on the money with that so far. It's broken.
Yeah, it passed 700.
Yeah, so I'm already on the money on that. So, and it's doing it at a pace that's greater than Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad as well, which also helps. But what do we think this movie's gonna do? I don't see this movie doing $1 billion. I'd be surprised if it did.
I feel the same way.
I
could see 700-800.
I could too.
I can see that.
I can see that. I could see 700-800. What do you think, Dido? How much do you think this movie's gonna make?
You said Wonder Woman's at 7?
Yeah,
is that worldwide or domestic?
That's worldwide.
Yeah, we're talking about worldwide or domestic, because if it's worldwide, it's definitely going to do about 800.
Yeah, because if Doctor Strange could do 600, Spider-Man's logically, he has to do better than that.
Doctor Strange did 600 worldwide, really?
It's six something. It did better than Man of Steel.
Huh? I'm a little surprised by that.
So.
I didn't think it was going to do that much, since he's such an obscure character, and they didn't have the, because it was banned in China. They didn't show it in China, did they?
It's just that I think Doctor Strange, it wasn't like earth-shattering at the box office, but it was good, like Ant-Man was, because those people like, hey, it's been in theaters for 8 weeks, let's go see Doctor Strange this afternoon or something. But yeah, Doctor Strange, it had some good numbers in the long run, but I expect Spider-Man, especially with, as we said, all the positive buzz surrounding this.
Right.
I think it's gonna have similar results as Wonder Woman critically and with moviegoers, and I think 700-800 is a solid bet.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if this did break $1 billion. I'd be really surprised if it did. At least for this movie, because Iron Man did $1 billion. You would logically think that it could do it too. You would logically think, because this is Spider-Man. He's a much more beloved character than Iron Man, but at the same point, by the same time, Spider-Man is a lot more saturated than Iron Man was when Iron Man 3 came out and it broke $1 billion. So
yeah, Iron Man 3 also had the thing going for it. It was the first movie right
after the Avengers, right? That's true. Very true. Very true. Very good point, Eric. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Very good point.
Yeah, even Thor: The Dark World got that post-Avengers boost, and he's been one of their least lucrative superheroes from
this new Thor is going to be way better than the last one. The last two.
I hope so. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Unless they just got a really good trailer.
And it's not like we haven't been fooled by a really good trailer before. So
right.
I have to hedge my bets a little bit on Thor. As much as I like Chris Hemsworth in the role, as much as I'm looking forward to seeing the whole tie-in with Planet Hulk, and I don't know. I gotta wait and see on that. So
yeah, he's yet to prove that a screenplay exists within the 9 realms.
So now after Spider-Man is done, and we're getting kind of close on time. After Spider-Man is done, what's next now? I think we're almost done with kind of big summer movies now. I think this is like the last one. The next big thing we got looking forward to is Justice League in November, right?
What was the name of that girl with oh jeez, it's kind of like Jason Bourne but with the female.
Oh, Atomic Blonde.
Yeah,
but that's not. That's not like a big super. That's not a big blockbuster movie. I think that might be a sleeper hit. Because honestly, I almost want to put it in the same category as Hardcore Henry, maybe, but probably a little bit better. But yeah, I think this is about it. Spider-Man is like the last summer blockbuster movie that I really want to see for the summer. What do you guys? Anything else coming up that you guys want to see?
That's it.
Valerian. Valerian is that one with Dane DeHaan and Enchantress from Cara Delevingne. Yeah, that looks fantastic. I think I was talking about this with somebody the other day, saying how that movie looks incredible visually. I just don't think it's going to make bank at the box office because it's going to be it's an obscure property, and I don't think the names attached to star are going to be enough to bring it in. I forget who was I talking to about that, talking about why it's important for I think for movie studios to have bankable stars. We were debating like Ghost in the Shell and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I forget who we were talking. Who else? It was a good discussion.
I could see Valerian tanking and then being a cult classic. You know?
I could. Yeah, I could too.
Like Jupiter Ascending.
You got Dark Tower.
Yeah, Jupiter, like Jupiter Ascending. Right, exactly. What were you saying? Oh, the Dark Tower. Thank you, the Dark Tower.
Man, I'm not too.
I know nothing about that.
No, did you see the trailer?
Yeah, I read the comic books too, and I didn't like the comic books.
Dog, I didn't read the books. I didn't read the comic books. That trailer looked. Freaking fantastic. I'm sorry.
I gotta pull it up now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in it.
Yeah, I'm very interested in the Dark Tower. So thank you for that. Thank you for that reminder, Kahuna.
We also have Apes, what I'm waiting for.
War for the Planet of the Apes, which is actually the week after Spider-Man. So there's that. So I guess I stand corrected. It's not exactly the last movie, but we're kind of winding down. Man, this summer is like. Now that the Tigers aren't doing so good this summer.
You didn't speak about Despicable Me 3. Just came out the last weekend, and it's tearing the world up. I heard it's already over 100 million.
It's Despicable Me. I expected no less.
Yeah, it's probably gonna blow up to $1 billion because it's. I think one of the Despicable Me movies is in that top 10 grossing or top 25 highest.
You know what's funny with after this Planet of the Apes, Matt Reeves can finally get to work on the Batman. But did you hear that? Who was the guy that preceded him on the series? Was it Rupert Wyatt? He's rumored to be directing Green Lantern 4 now.
Oh boy.
Okay, that'd be cool. Hey, do we think Green Lantern is going to be in the Justice League movie?
No,
should be, but he's not.
Should be.
I think he'll be something at the end.
Man.
They're trying to forget all about Green Lantern.
Don't do the core like that. He needs to come back in a strong way. I'm still scared for Justice League, by the way. Just because Wonder Woman did really good, that doesn't mean Justice League is going to be good. So I'm sorry. That's just me.
I think that these reshoots are really indicative of, well, WB wants the movie to be as good as it can, which is why they put Joss Whedon there. And they're doing reshoots, I think, throughout the summer, and people are like, "Oh, how can this possibly happen if the movie's out in November?" The word on the street is that those scenes they're reshooting aren't ones that necessarily need visual effects. So we're going to be maybe redoing scenes with a lot of the interpersonal dynamics, which people think is the strength of Whedon's. They could be changing up, bits of story. The Batmobile was on set, so they could be, reshooting some action scenes here and there. But I think that it's going to be Whedon's baby a little more than you think, because I think the fact that Junkie XL was relieved as composer and replaced with Danny Elfman, and sidebar, how awesome would it be if Danny Elfman brought back his Batman theme in this movie? But Elfman worked with Whedon on Age of Ultron, so I think Whedon's bringing in his guys, and WB is leaning more toward him because Snyder, they're not happy with what happened with Batman vs. Superman. Whedon's directing their next female-led movie in Batgirl, which, Deborah Snyder said will get here before Wonder Woman 2, and the only reason Batgirl's happening is because Joss Whedon wants to do it, because you have to admit, this movie would not have happened 10 years ago, but now that he has 2 Avengers under his belt, it's like, yes, Mr. Whedon, whatever you want, Mr. Whedon, because what they said happened. What they said happened was Whedon was taking a tour at Warner Brothers, and they had a board laid out of movies they were thinking of adapting from DC Comics, and he's like, "Oh, I'll take Batgirl," and they're like, "Okay," and there's no way Batgirl, I don't think in any other climate would have had a solo movie if Joss Whedon wouldn't have said, "I want to do it." And I think that, I don't know, I'm having a better feeling about Justice League, but we're gonna have to see, because I don't know. Josh disagrees with me, and maybe one day we'll be able to talk about it on this and our own show. But I'm sensing a Richard Donner, Richard Lester situation here.
Oh man! Well, you know what? Superman 2 wasn't that bad. So Superman 2, the Richard Lester version, wasn't that bad. So
I'm not talking in quality, but I'm talking in means.
Oh, story rewrites,
reshoots, and
Yeah, maybe, and that could be for the better, honestly, because even though the Donner cut was good, the Richard Lester version wasn't so much of a slouch either. But anyway, guys, we got to get out of here. We're already over. Happy 4th to all of you guys out there. We're gonna be back next week, hopefully, with another brand new show. We hope you all enjoy your holiday. For the Great Dadakuji, for GQ, I mean not for GQ, for the Big Kahuna, for Super Nerd Plus, and for our guest Eric Joseph. I'm Kenshiro. We'll see you guys later. Go find us on Facebook and join our new Anime Junkies discussion group. See you guys later. Peace.
Keep your pinkies up, because you never know what some fancy shit's gonna happen.
Fancy shit
like this.
Yeah. Happy 5th from the Philippines. 4th for everybody else there.
That's my motto.
They ain't have no Pacquiao riots over there.
Pacquiao riots.